Welcome to Japan Treasure Hunters. I'm Jonathan Lucas, and today is a great day for me and a couple of my other friends that are out here. We are on Iwo Jima again. As we all know, Iwo Jima was like the main focal point in the Pacific, and the reason why is because this was an airfield, and this gave the United States a close enough margin to Japan in order to attack and then be able to receive airplanes back here if they were damaged, ultimately saving lives. Unfortunately, it took a lot of lives to take this island. So right now I'm standing on Suribachi, Mount Suribachi, and as you can see the big memorial to where the flag was raised. Right over here, this is where Sergeant Knost actually took the famous film right here, and the actual flag was raised right over there.
Suribachi is ours.
So this place is very, very, very surreal. You don't know the feeling and the thought that goes through. And especially once you come around over here, you're going to look at this beach area. And looking at this beach area, this whole ocean right out here was filled with 800 ships, which to me is amazing anyway, just the logistics. And then if you look at the beach now, it's actually raised up about 100 meters or so, and there's actually two lips. And the landing craft, when they came on, they came up to the first one right there, and that's the one that you see on all the films where the Marines stopped and they had to go up the hill. And just try to picture this in your mind, that 73 years ago, this was all desolated. There was no green anywhere. So now, you know, you can see some buildings over there. That's where the actual airfield's at now. But you can see that just this little piece of island was that important that we take. So this time on Japan Treasure Hunters, we're going to go try to hit all the shrines, all the memorials, and a lot of sites of interest that I think that you would like to see, because not everybody can come out here and do this. So I'm ready to hit it, and let's go. All right, so we're still on top of Suribachi here, and you can see there's a couple other monuments for the Japanese soldiers that were here. We're actually going to walk down over here a little bit, and there's a bunker over here that they used to shoot towards the beach. Suribachi was filled with caves, tunnels, and the second command post. The actual command post, we'll go into that cave later, but this was like the main part that the Marines had to take. In order to take this, it took them 4 days in order to get from the beach up to here. And the 5th Marine Division, H Company, is the one that actually came up here and did this. So bless their souls, absolutely amazing. I was in the military, I never had the chance to fight, but just being here and seeing the sand and imagine not being able to see your enemy, where they're coming from, is just mind-blowing. It's incredible. So let's go check out this bunker. All right, so we took a little walk down the trail here to come down here to where the gun emplacements were. You can see over here, there's two guns that were pointed down towards the beach over here. And sitting up here is just like, it's still surreal to see the water and the beach and just everything, thinking that there was 800 ships out here sending Marines in at 9 o'clock in the morning on February 19th, 1945. The caves and the bunkers on Suribachi have been closed. They've been sealed off for the most part. And the reason for that is because we're actually sitting on a live volcano right now. And right over here is actually the crater of the volcano. You can look down and you can see actually a small cone that's kind of steaming up a little bit here, but it's just mind-blowing that we're out here on a live volcano in the middle of the Pacific. Okay, so right now we're on the west side of Iwo Jima, the west side beach, and I like to call this beach the graveyard of ships because if you take a look behind me, there's a bunch of ships that were concreted over and left out in the water as a barrier to keep the bigger ships from coming in and help guide the Marines into a certain area so that way they were easier targets. But as you can see, these actually used to be out in the water about 200 yards. This area right up here used to be the beach. Actually, water would come all the way up this far. So, past 73 years, the island's raised up that far. So, we're going to take a walk down the beach and we're going to have a gander at these ships. So. Alright, so now we're standing in front of the painted rock, which as you can see, it's a carving of the flag raising on Mount Suribachi. Out of all the places on the island, this is my second favorite one to come to, just because it shows like historical, it's extremely historical. You can see names, you can see dates. Of course, you know, there's some newer names and dates, but also there's one from 1948, which I think is really amazing. There's not a name on who carved it or how many people carved it. That they just know that it's here, and this is one of the main stops when you come out here. So. Alright, so here we are at another monumental spot on Iwo Jima. We're at Ochiroyama Ichiban-ju, which is the first, well, it's the big mountain, the big castle mountain, first gun emplacement, right? So looking at the gun, it's actually really cool because you look right here, it was hit with a projectile and put the gun out of commission. So right now we're actually in the bunker where it was right now, and as you can see, it's just a whole lot of chaos up in here. But if you look out here, you can see where the gun was pointed, and it was probably hit, and when it was hit, it moved over here because there wasn't anything out on this side of the ocean. It was all on that side. So it's really pretty interesting to see it. And here, let me get out of the way and get a good shot of the whole gun. Yeah, it's just amazing to see all this stuff that's out here still. Alright, so we came upon this monument here. It states, Division Cemetery. This plaque marks the spot of the cemetery in which sailors and Marines of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Marine Divisions who were killed in action during the battle for Iwo Jima. So this is a very sacred place to the Marines, obviously. But this is all that's here now. Just overgrowth, trees, and a little bit of jungle. Alright, so here's another bunker. If you've seen one of my previous videos, you've seen that I've been in here before, but still got a little more time. I can sit and investigate a little bit more. So, see the stand where they had the machine gun on. And let's get a view of what the Japanese could see out this hole. But at this time there was no rocks or anything, or no bushes in the way, so it was all clear grass, so they could see all the way to the ocean. On this side, come back over here to this side. Got the actual machine gun is right here, and can tell the front was blown out of it. But again, if all this foliage wasn't here, you'd have a straight shot right down the beach. Had it been terrible that day.